we're back at it again. Guess who's back? Me again.
Don't tell a friend.
Please don't tell a friend. Or do, whatever. It's a time, Welcome to this new episode of Untitled Waifu, episode 5 of our
Episode
adventures.
what?
5.
Oh.
I said episode 5.
Is this 5th?
Yeah, it's the 5th episode. Yeah.
I don't freaking know.
Yeah,
Okay,
we're keeping track of whatever. I always try to keep track. Whatever, it's fine. Nick, Alexis, we're here, back at it. If you've seen from the title of this episode, you know what we talking about.
Ooh, yeah.
We know what we about to get into, and that's Promised Neverland.
Yeah, the Promised Neverland.
Yep, it is no. It's not about Peter Pan.
Dear God, no, it is not.
Imagine if it was, but it most certainly isn't.
I mean, Peter Pan is also depressing, but
I mean, other versions, yes. Disney version's like fun. It doesn't really care about.
But when you know, like when you know the true story.
Are you talking about that the kids are dead and that's
Yeah.
that's aggressive?
Well, they go to Neverland where they never grow up.
I guess, but like at the same time, I just want to think about them flying and like having weird feelings towards Tinkerbell. All right, that's all.
Having weird feelings towards this tiny woman in
Dude,
a short dress. She's very small. Very small. Oh, dear God. I need you to full stop. I don't know what's happening.
Hit the e-brake. Okay, back on track. Do you want to give the people here a quick, non-spoilery description of Promised Neverland?
Yeah, because the rest of this is going to be spoilers.
Oh, yeah.
If you can't guess.
Yeah. It's going to be deep in the spoilers.
Yeah. So, for those who may not know, which I would hope you know by now because the second season is literally going to come out this month, hopefully. It was supposed to come out last year, but it got delayed. So,
Yeah.
But the synopsis that comes via Viz, Emma, Norman, and Ray are the brightest kids at the Gracefield House Orphanage, and under the care of the woman they refer to as Mom, all the kids have enjoyed a comfortable life, good food, clean clothes, and the perfect environment to learn. What more could an orphan ask for? I don't know, parents?
Damn!
Sorry. I thought that the same time when I was writing this. Anyways, one day, though, Emma and Norman uncover the dark truth of the outside world they are forbidden from seeing.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. So, the thing I got from Alexis about it was somebody had mentioned her before, like we were thinking about which anime we wanted to talk about next. And after doing Goblin Slayer, somebody had mentioned her, like, oh, hey, you guys should talk about Promised Neverland. And apparently she had already seen it. Yeah. And I was like, well, I'll watch it, give it a shot. And she was like, just be ready. It gets steep.
Or like the entire freaking season.
It's similar to Goblin Slayer because there's a particular thing in the first episode. Here's what I'm going to say. Going forward, watch this series. It is very good.
Yeah.
It is already right now.
Well, no, keep going.
Okay.
I just have something to add on.
Okay, I gotcha. Starting off this year, I think it is already on top as my favorite anime of this year so far. It is. If you like, it's a great drama. If you like drama in general, it is one of the animes that I've actually sat down and watched where it's not only good as an anime, it is also good just as a show in general. And those are my favorite.
It's a great thriller.
Yeah, because if you want to explain to people, like, hey, you want to get into anime, but you're not into anime, then this is something I would absolutely recommend if you want to get somebody into anime without them feeling really, hesitant about it or anything. Not like some people are like, oh, just watch JoJo's. It's a great anime. Like, no. Don't do that.
Yeah,
No. Show them this. This
You need to be used to anime before you jump into JoJo.
Oh, yeah. You got to. It's 211. 211.
It's like, let's throw everything we possibly can and the kitchen sink.
Yes, absolutely. But you were going to add on?
Yeah, a fun thing about this anime, which I only found out from grabbing the synopsis, is on Rotten Tomatoes, it has 100% critic rating and 97% audience rating.
Yeah, it is.
Which, it's hard to get 100% critic rating sometimes, so.
Yeah. No, it's insanely good. And it's on Crunchyroll for free. Watch it now. Just do it.
Season 2 is going to be coming out soon, so hurry up.
Bang it out. It's like Goblin Slayer. It's like 12 episodes.
Yeah.
And I'll get into some comparisons of like Goblin Slayer and like certain aspects here and there. But just before we get into spoilers, because we have to, watch it and then come back to us when you've already watched it, and then we can have a discussion about it.
Yeah.
But the show is about these, basically have like 3 main characters, but then you also have the orphanage as a whole of Emma, Ray, and Norman.
Your top 3 pupils.
Yeah, and they're also like the oldest, some of the oldest. But these kids are very, I would almost say at certain points maybe they're a little too smart.
They really are. But I think that's the whole point. It's supposed to like really push you to realize that they're trying to mold, or they want the best of the best kids.
Yeah. So like the vibe of the first episode basically establishes you like aggressively caring for these kids.
Oh God, I know. You get so into it.
Yeah, like each one of these kids has so much personality. They have so much character to them. Even not even like the main characters, like even like the little kids are going around. They're all like playful. They all seem like this giant family, and they're all led by this mother character. And that first episode is it feels good, and it feels like you're having a good time and everything. But because you told me that it gets steep, I just have this looming thing over my head of like, when does it turn?
Yeah.
And the show does that a little bit. And there's little things here and there about the series, about that first episode that like were kind of cluing me in. One, the way they were being taught. Mm-hmm. So there's this, they only show it once, surprisingly. I just thought about that.
Yeah.
Which is not as integral to the whole thing, but when they're being taught, they're on these screens and they have like barcodes they swipe for answers and all that stuff. And it's like weird, crazy geometry stuff. Like
it's in like a dark room. It's like completely secluded. Like everything's very bright and cheerful, and then all of a sudden when they're learning, they're in like a cave.
Oh yeah. Like, and then the screens are so bright. I'm sure it's not good for their eyes.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah. Get them some wear the tinted like gaming glasses.
You need the blue light.
The blue light glasses. That's what it is. Get some blue light glasses for them.
Filters.
But still, there's this like joy. They're all happy. They're all having a good time. And the whole point of the first episode that leads to is that this one of the kids, this girl named Connie, gets a family. She's gonna have a new foster family and everything.
She's getting adopted,
and she's this cute little thing, and you're just like, oh, she's so adorable. Sweet. And she's like, she's not the smartest out of everyone, but she's just bundle of joy. She has this giant bunny that she brings around with and shit. And
she's like Emma's little sister too. Like when Emma comes downstairs for the morning, she like immediately picks her up, puts her on her back, and like it's super wholesome.
Yeah, it is more wholesome content. But as we're going through that episode, as I was going through the episode, I am sitting there and just dreading what I'm going to watch next, because as we're going through, and it's the immediate comparison I have to make. Each of the characters has like tattoos on their neck and everything, which I'm still trying to figure out what those numbers are. Like I wasn't too sure if they're not birth dates.
No, I think they're just like cattle numbers, aren't they?
Maybe, or something like that. But
that's what I assumed.
Right. There are things thematically which makes sense.
They might explain it more in season 2, though.
Oh yeah, I'm assuming season 2 is gonna be a lot of explaining. You have some explaining to do. Promised Neverland. There are visual and semi-narrative things here and there to like. Okay, it's gonna be a little steep. The Holocaust. Like, there's definitely this aura of just. It's more fucked up because of the fact that they're so innocent to what's going on, especially like when Connie gets taken away. Mom takes her down this road and she has a lantern, and there's a tunnel that leads out, and Emma and Norman Which Emma as a character, she is more of a like peppy, like athletic girl. She's very full of, happiness and joy. She's very naive though, and that's like kind of her issue. Norman is a very intelligent, like yes, big
Norman's
brain.
the strategy boy.
He is strategy. He plays RTSs. He doesn't show him playing RTSs, but but he's not as physically enduring as Emma.
No.
And then there's Ray, to which Ray is kind of quiet. He's smart, but there's other things going on with his character that I'll get into. But he
stays away from everyone.
Yeah, he's I would say Sasuke-esque, but I think
that's the first thought I had too. Don't worry, I was like, well, what sort of baby brother over here? Hello?
Good news. He's a better character than Sasuke.
Yeah, thank God, Jesus.
Yeah. Which he's definitely has more of an arc. Which I guess Sasuke had an arc, but he's more empathetical as a character.
Yeah, he doesn't go. He goes on a better. His arc goes in a better direction.
A better direction and very surprising direction.
Yeah.
But Norman and Emma realized that Connie had left her bunny. And they're like, oh, we gotta go get her bunny back. So they chase her down, and they're told there's certain areas they can't go to in the area. Like there's fenced off areas after a certain point that they can't go past.
Yeah.
But they're like, we gotta get her bunny. We might get in trouble, but we want to get her bunny back. And then they go into the tunnel.
Oh God, I wasn't prepared the first time I watched it. I was like,
and there's a truck, and the truck was very specific to why I thought of like World War II and everything like that. When that connection was made, and so I was like, well, maybe it's like a future Nazi situation or something. I'm trying to figure out what's the hook, right? Like the entire time I'm sitting down, like what's the angle they're going for, and so they open up the truck. And I knew it. I knew it was gonna happen. It still fucking sucks. Connie's dead. She is. First off, like very sudden. Like they don't dwell on it too long. They give you just enough to where they don't sit on it. It doesn't feel as gratuitous. But there's like this flower coming out of her and all that stuff. Like and all that. And of course, Emma and Norman are like, huh.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, they're children, so they're completely traumatized by this scene of death.
Oh, yeah. So they realize that there's people coming back, so they hide under the truck. And so I'm like, okay, they have no...
People.
Dude, so like, they come around this truck and everything like that, and you see Mom's feet, but then you see these, like, fucked up feet and fucked up hands, and then you just see the creatures that are running this whole operation. Like they don't waste any time.
Yeah, they're like, hey, they eat them.
Yeah, they
do what?
You are already established that they're in a horrific situation where they call them demons, but we're not sure what they are collecting the kids and are harvesting them for food. That's what they found out. And so Connie ends up being sent, put in like a jar, with water and everything like that, closed up, and they send her on their way. And like the demons are weird too because they don't have like any weird accents or whatever. They just sound normal.
Yeah, but they sound like regular people.
But the creature designs are very interesting. I do like the way it is, but it's so jarring to the designs of the rest of this show because they're in that concentrated area. Because the concentrated area is like very sterile. It's everyone's wearing white. Everything looks plain, like all that. But then you see the demons. You're like, whoa, that's like such an extreme contrast. My thing going into it was I love me some eldritch horror. I love me mental anguish and like there's things inconceivable out there that are gonna fuck you up and you have nothing you can do about it. So I was thinking maybe it was gonna go in that direction. And I wasn't too sure, like are these kids are just going to get annihilated as the show goes on? Or is there a little bit of hope?
Just start picking them off.
Oh, my God, dude. I was like, I'm down for both. But the rest of the series, I think it's why we can like cover this in like a single episode. The rest of the series is basically just them trying to plan to escape.
Yeah, it's a fight for survival the whole time.
Yeah, so the best way I can describe this episode for people outside of anime is it is a combination of two things. Do you ever watch Twilight Zone? Do you ever remember To Serve Man?
Vaguely.
Okay, so To Serve Man, the whole angle of that episode is that aliens come down. They're like, "Hey, we want to advance humans. We want to advance society.
Oh, yeah.
We want to get everyone up to speed. We have to take some of you guys back to our planet."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Cool, great, awesome." And then they read this text called "Disturbed Man," which they thought was like the guide to how to assist humanity and everything like that. But then somebody translates it and realizes that it's just a cookbook, and they're just gonna eat them.
Yep.
And you're just like, oh, okay, that's great. And so it's that, and then a mix of and then the Great Escape, where it's them plotting to try and get away from this woman, trying to get out of the area, and working together as a whole to get out. And the whole series is built on these hooks of plans changing.
Yeah, it loves twists, plot twists, cliffhangers. It loves it.
It does that very well, and in such a small space. It's very different from when we were watching Goblin Slayer, because Goblin Slayer was also 12 episodes, but Goblin Slayer had those mini arcs in them as they were going along, so it kind of was a bit all over the place. This show is very focused on these characters and them trying to get out and the struggles they're having to deal with.
Oh yeah, and I mean it is a manga, of course.
Right.
The first season I found out is the first 37 chapters, so I mean clearly there's still so much more content. So they've found a really good way to, because from what I can tell, the manga to anime is really, really well done. They really didn't take anything out.
Okay.
So they really are trying to give you the full story just in a moving picture, essentially. And the thing that you you were kind of talking about with where it gets very, very gloomy, the tunnel is so drastically different. That's actually probably part of the reason that I really, really love this anime. The coloring and the animation very much follows what is going on in the story.
Yeah.
And it very much is the orphanage is all of a sudden bright and colorful and the greens really, really pop. And then all of a sudden that tunnel is just dark and dank and doesn't match. But there's the reason. It's literally to show you that this is a very, very bad thing being covered up as something very, very sweet and nice.
Right. One of the biggest points of the whole show is control. Emma has this fierce freedom that she wants, now knowing that she doesn't have freedom here, and because of the environment and because of Isabella, which we find out her name, and there's another character that shows up later on, Sister Crone. Oh my god, she's such a weirdo.
But oh my god, her short time, I was like,
yeah. So that's another thing I want to get back to as well. Finding out that they're no longer in a situation where they're able to go out, and it's just they're meeting certain doom. Emma's like, fuck that. Mother keeps on wanting to establish her, because they figure out as it goes along that the situation, so they start planning, they start plotting, and the mom figures out, because there's another character named Sister Crone or whatever her name is, or Crone, I forget her name, the sister, who is, I love her character, because even though they show her backstory towards the end of her arc, there's a lot of cool visual stuff with her. You know who she is what her backstory is. She has numbers, so she knew she was an orphan. She has a doll that she always brings around, that she always keeps, and she's crazy.
She really is.
She's crazy, but it's that childlike. She never grew up really. You find out that a lot of the there's other mothers and there's other plants.
Oh yeah, because that's that was supposed to be Emma's goal, is she wanted to be a mom.
That's right.
Yeah,
right.
That was when you first meet her, she was like, I want to be just like mom. I want to be another mom, and that's an avenue that you can go.
Yeah, well, it's a way of freedom, but you're stuck in it.
Yeah,
because they basically what you find out from Isabella, you become not only do you become a mother as for the orphanage, but at certain points you become a mom.
Yeah, you become a mom.
Actual, you have to push kids out to sent to orphanages. It's a fucked
Yeah.
up place, man.
Well, yeah, and that's like the crazy thing. And I didn't really realize this until probably towards the end, and like then when I reflected on it, because you look at Isabella as like such a terrible, terrible character. Like she is so
yeah.
bad, but she is equally terrified of dying. She knows that if these kids get out, that it is going to come down on her, and she doesn't have another choice.
Yeah.
And that's like the unfortunate part is she knows everything. She doesn't like it, but she has no choice.
For both Isabella and the sister, they have like a beautiful way of when the sister gets killed by a demon, because they figured out the sister was trying to overthrow Bella, and then but the grandma was in on what Bella was doing, and then like she ends up just getting fucked over, and she ends up getting killed by a demon.
What was her name?
But you find, but they as she is fighting for her life against this demon, they are showing flashbacks to how she managed to get herself in the position that she was in.
Was it Sister Crone?
Crone, that's what it was, Sister Crone. You find out how she ended up in the position that she got into, and just the things she had to do in order to be where she's at, only to just meet her end. And you feel bad for that character, even though she was weird and like kind of, she had her quirks, and like you weren't sure what necessarily her intentions were. You empathize with her, and you're like, well, shit, yep, no, that's fucked. But it happens the hardest for Isabella.
Yeah.
So, spoilers, the kids get out. They figure out a plan and everything. But
with a lot of twists and turns.
Oh, twists and
Jesus
turns. So many twists and turns.
Norman, this boy.
He ain't dead.
No.
He ain't dead.
He's not.
He is not dead.
But also,
there ain't no body.
God, like, just I remember watching the episode when he gets up on the wall and just sees the trench of just darkness, and I was like, my heart literally sank. I've never like, I've a couple different shows have made me like actually react like emotionally, but literally I felt my heart just go oof. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, there's that.
No.
Like you thought he had the out and everything. You thought he was gonna be able to do it, and then you're just like, oh.
Yeah, like he finally makes his way up the wall. He figured out how to do it, and then he just stands there, and he's like, you just see like everything. His whole soul just left his body. It was like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, Norman ends up. He ends up getting chosen to leave the facility, but there's something up. He ends up. They put him to a side room and everything. When they get to the tunnel, and like his eyes open wide, and he's like, huh? But you don't see a body. You don't see him get killed. Every other character, there's a body, and or you see them in the like something happens to them. You know that how they end up. We don't know what happened to Norman.
No.
We don't know.
Can we just talk about their strategy of setting that house on fire? Like,
can we talk about? We need to talk about Ray. We need to talk about Ray.
Ray came in. That boy.
Ray, I almost, because it happened right when they were doing the whole contingency. Norman was trying to figure out. They find out there's a traitor telling Isabella what's going on, and he's trying to figure out who it is. And as it's going along, him and Ray are talking about it, and Ray's been quiet, like he's been helping and everything, but he's a bit standoffish. But I was just like you kind of just figure like, well, maybe it's just kind of how he is. He's just kind of like a loner character.
Yeah.
But then it hits you like he's talking like when Norman like finally confronts him, because he had told two of the other characters, Gilda and Don, about things located in areas from the grab, and if one of them was going to narc on him, and he tells Ray about those, except he doesn't tell him the right ones. He lies to Ray, because then he finds out Ray's the one's been trading, being the traitor the entire time. And I figured that out right before that episode ended. I was like, is Ray the traitor? Wait, is Ray? Oh shit, son! And Ray's been doing this shit since he was 6. He's been playing this shit the entire time.
I know.
So him and Bella have been like, he's been like just narking on the kids and everything like that, and he's been getting stuff out of it to try and get out. And so
cunning little bastard.
Oh, dude, 100%. And so like there's this unease with his character throughout the series where you're just like, he can turn at any point. He can fuck him over just so he can get some freedom and everything. But he has one of the best arcs. He almost makes a sacrifice fly because they find out that Emma got notes from Norman right before he left for the plan to go through, and so she apparently told more people. They got a whole thing together, and they're using games that they were playing as ways to make an escape plan. With the mom more distracted by looking at Ray and Emma, but not really looking at their kids because she assumed they're just all innocent. They don't know shit. They don't care.
Yeah.
But really what ends up happening is that they have told more kids, and that's how they get their escape plan going and all of that.
Do you know, like, part of... I mean, I'm assuming that this is part of the reason why Ray is the spy?
Oh, well, it was... you're talking about towards at the end with Bella and everything like that, how he ended up being the spy and all that?
Yeah, I mean, like, kind of why he was chosen. I'm assuming this is why he was chosen, because you would do
Because
it.
he knew more about Bella's past than he let on? Because he was humming the one dude's song?
He's... Do they not... Oh, God, do they not explain this in the show? I don't know unless it's going to come in season 2. Now I'm a little worried if I say it, but... Ray is her biological son. He's the only one.
They didn't say that in the TV series.
Yeah, that's... I don't know if that's going to come into... That might come into play in season 2, though.
I didn't... Oh, was that like what it was alluding to when she was... When he was singing the song? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, because, I think... Well, because he's one of the few that doesn't have the amnesia like the rest of them.
Which... Come on. Come on. That's not real.
What?
The infantile amnesia and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I known everything since I was a fetus. I'm like, what?
I know, it's a little dramatic.
Yeah, it's a little...
Jesus Christ.
It's a little much. Which then, no, if he has that, then he has to know that Isabella is his mom. Mm-hmm. That's it's weird. I don't know if I like that angle. Because that basically just means...
I mean, but... well, no, but I think he knew that because that's his actual mother, that he could easily use it against the whole system.
Yeah, maybe that's why he was kind of fucked up about it.
Yeah, because I don't think he's trying to go against her. He's just trying to go against the system. Yeah. And she's stuck in it, too. So right. It's like...
And maybe that's why she, like, when they all escaped, maybe that's why she didn't really pursue it. Because she knew that he was finally out.
Yeah, I mean...
That makes sense.
Again, because she's just as trapped as all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole unfortunate thing, is they try to make you hate this one character, and then the more you find out about him, like...
No, because they do the whole flashback with her, and
that's true. Yeah,
she there's the character Leslie who's playing the mandolin, which by the way, I was as he was playing it, I grabbed my guitar and I found out the scale for it. And I was like, oh, I know how to play the song. Yeah, it's a great song. But she ends up losing a friend. She ends up becoming having the choice of becoming a mother, which she takes, and she's like one of the best ones, and she ends up taking over the farm and everything like that. But she has the struggle. Like you understand that she is as stuck as everyone else here. She's not like the demons. Like, she is a human person, and so I really do appreciate that that they start them off as like somebody you don't like.
Yeah,
but they peel at them like they're actual people. You
start to learn.
Yeah, you start to understand, and they grow as characters, and you like them. And that's the best thing about this whole show, is that as you go through the series, is just that you want these characters to get out. Like you want them to succeed in this whole thing, but there's just that slight bit of like uncertainty.
Yeah, and like they do it really, really well, where they get you like so hyped on they're gonna do this, they finally found a way, and then just boom, no, it's not an actual way. It's like the wall thing. He finally he's struggling to get up the wall, and he comes up with this genius little plan of like parkouring himself up the wall.
When fucking Bella broke her leg.
Oh my God, that was horrifying.
Shit.
I can't imagine like going up to an 11-year-old and being like, you are a problem.
There's so many of those moments where you're just like, you feel so bad for the kids, because especially after Connie dies, they find Connie's body and everything, and they're outside, and Emma's like, That wasn't her, right? That was something else. Never. And Norman had to just look at her and go, no, that was Connie. And she lets out, God bless this voice actress.
Yeah, Jesus.
She lets out this wail, just this absolute scream, and you're in it now. You're in it with them. You're like, this is no me gusta. Like, this is bad time.
When there's so many things that they'll do that, even though the three of them are so smart and so like past the age of 11 and as far as brain goes.
Yeah.
Like, there are little things that they do that remind you, oh my God, this is an 11-year-old kid.
This is a kid.
Like,
These
this
are
is
kittens.
a child trying to figure out how to survive. Like,
yeah.
Jesus.
While they have the intelligence beyond their age, they still have the maturity things.
Yeah.
They're still kids. And like as you're going along, you also meet these characters, Dawn and Gilda and everything, and they find out about it, and they're still in like disbelief and everything.
Yeah.
Gilda's had some awakening things she needs to deal with.
Yeah, dear God.
Gilda's like, yo, Emma, listen. I got some feelings.
This is a mess.
Yeah.
Oh, and then they figure out about the trackers inside their ears.
Yeah. Dude,
What a placement. But I mean, you never see it on yourself. So.
Yeah, no, it was a smart play. She checked it on the younger kid because it's bigger, which that was neat. That was a neat detail. But Emma just taking her ear off.
Yeah, she
cut
her own ear off.
Dude.
Oh God.
Dude.
Jesus. Like, this girl had her leg straight snapped in half. Literally went into, like, one of the most depressive states, but still manages. She's using her depressive state.
I need that girl's serotonin. Like, I swear to God.
But she uses her depressive state as, like, a reason that nobody is paying attention to her, and she's just, like, secretly sliding tidbits of this plan the whole time. Oh, my God. Like, the fucking strategy. These kids, I can't even think of these strategies. Jesus Christ. Yeah, but you're supposed to tell me an 11-year-old did this?
Yeah, well, yeah, and that's just it. Like, there are little points here and there of the series where I get a little like, would an 11-year-old actually do this?
Well, but also it technically all came from Norman's letters.
Well, yeah, Norman's the character. Norman's kind of the character where he has a super intellect. Yeah, like basically that's like his superpower. Yeah.
He's completely unbeatable in tag.
Yes, absolutely. Utterly. Can't beat him in tag, y'all.
Like undefeated champion over here.
Yeah, 14 time. He's the Ric Flair of tag. Coming out with alligators and a gold wristwatch and fluffy. He was wearing, when he got that cardigan on, when he got that button up.
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
up.
Yeah, get a little button up. And then he shows up in like the suit when he's about to bounce. Like, yo, Norman pimping, my dude. Like, he'd be like, yo, Emma, I'm going to be back. When I come back, you know what I'm saying?
Jesus.
We're going to hold hands. Like, well, I'm 11-year-old. We're going to hold hands. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah, please. Please hold hands.
It's the sweetest, cutest. Give him a little kiss on the cheek. It's cute.
Homegirl don't have an ear anymore, so she needs a little bit of support. Just hold her hand and tell her it's all right. She cut her own ear off. Jesus.
It's gonna be an awkward.
Where did they leave? Where did she leave the tracker at? Was it in the room that first started the fire?
Yeah. She left it. She made it. She when she ran, she checked the tracker. She threw the ear to the one side, and that's where it still had it there.
Man, they make you think that freaking Ray dies in that fire, and
that was really good. That was really good structure.
Twists were wild.
That was a really good structure.
But it was like plot twist that didn't make me angry. It was like very satisfying.
No.
I was like, thank God. I really thought this person died.
It was very well structured. It kept you on your toes, which was nice. But the only few things that suspended me a little bit were Ray not having infantile amnesia, remembering everything. That's very weird.
And it was a fetus.
That was a fetus, and I'm like, that's very so out there that I'm just kind of like, it's only I feel like it's only there for the story's purposes, and I get it, but at the same time it's a little awkward. The second thing, which I don't know if they're going to talk about that in the second season, is that Minerva character, the dude who left the Morse code in the books and everything.
Yeah.
That's weird, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's to establish that there are people in the outside world that are resisting.
Yeah.
But I was just like, they're like, oh, this is Morse code. And I'm like, you gleaned Morse code out of those little paint. Come on.
I'm really curious how far out this universe goes, into a world. Like, how much is this truly affecting?
So
or are they doing like some little small niche thing?
So that's what I'm trying to figure out with the how this series goes, because they get out, and I understand, like, once they get out, they have to understand that there's more stuff beyond what they're having to do and everything. I'm trying to understand, like, what's the next story? Because here's one of the best things about the series.
I mean, you could just read it, probably. I literally just found out on my app, though, by the way, that they just released a new chapter.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay. I think it's called When We Were Born or whatever. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, gotta read. I'm not even that far along in the manga, but, I gotta read it.
Yeah, read it now. I'll just jump all the way through. Who's dead? Shit!
I know, right? I just find out all three of them are dead. It's a whole nother cast.
Oh, my God.
Excuse me?
Oh, they pull a Walking Dead. It's like, everyone's dead. All the original characters are dead. Now it's just Norman.
Yeah, when did he come back? Hello?
Yeah, hello, Mom. No, I'm trying to figure out where they take it from here, because, like, do we go? We escape from the area, and is it more of just a survival story, or are they going to try and go into more detail? Because here's the thing I liked about the series: they gave you enough details about the moms and how all their stuff worked to where it serviced the story. I don't want it to end up being like a Prometheus thing or whatever, where the whole sake of the second season is, yes, the first season was very good. Now the second season is just gonna be like, let's explain to you everything. And you're like, okay,
no.
Like that's not the thing I'm excited for. Like, I'm more excited about what these characters are going to go through, and the thrills and the twist and the suspense and all that. Goblin Slayer's lack of detail was, I think, in some parts a bit lazy. I think the lack of detail in Promised Neverland is very intentional in certain aspects, just so that there's a layer of mystique and mystery. You don't have to tell us everything, because that's the main issue with a lot of shows, like Lost specifically. Like, everyone went like, what's this thing? What does it mean? What does it go to? And then it just all means for nothing, because they keep on throwing you down these plot holes that don't go to anywhere. We're just there because, ooh, it's the hatch. It has numbers. Oh, looky here. What could it? Is it a conspiracy? Is it a corporate? No, it's just purgatory. God damn it. It's just no. It's just some dude who's looking at a snow globe for too long. Damn it, St. Elsewhere, son of a bitch. Yeah, that's the one thing I'm trying to figure out, is where this series goes. But
yeah, I just decided to look this up for fun, because I haven't. This is something I always like to do. I mean, obviously, with the fact that more of the storyline needs to come out, because the manga came out in 2016, so it's been out for a little bit.
Okay.
It's still getting more chapters added to it. But a lot of people are just talking about like season 1 versus the manga, and obviously not go any further.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to read any of that yet.
Yeah, because from what I've read, it does stay very close to the story of the manga, which everybody is also saying. There are there are a couple differences. Yeah, see, like this one, and I remember I haven't actually gotten to like the escape part in the manga, so this is very interesting to me. It says in the anime, Isabella ends up reaching the kids just as Emma leaves, unable to stop them. It says in the manga, she never reaches the kids, for they are already gone. The small difference makes Isabella's defeat seem more meaningful, since having it along with the flashbacks to her past make it seem like she's almost happy that they succeeded.
Yeah, it definitely gives Isabella much more of adds to the empathizing her for what she has gone through. Throughout the series, you're like, this woman has nothing. I think the point where I realized that Isabella was there was more character to her was after her trying to break down Emma again, like trying to be like just submit, don't if you keep on writhing in agony and all that stuff, you're just gonna die an awful life.
Yeah,
and Emma
just making it worse for yourself.
Yeah, just make it worse for yourself. And then when she leaves, she kind of just gives like a look. And it's not a look of like, it's more of a look of like,
you did what I couldn't do.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, you start to realize that there's some humanity showing in Isabella. No, it was for me. It was a look of like maybe I took it a little too far.
Yeah, maybe.
I think that's why I felt it was more like maybe she doesn't actually mean the thing she is saying. That she's just trying to keep with her position and go forward. She's not doing it out of maliciousness. She's doing it because that's her thing.
Oh, yeah.
She has to retain her job.
Yeah, and her life.
Yeah. But besides that, like, it's one of the best things I've seen this year. Obviously, it's the 5th, so like, I mean, there's plenty more anime to go through and everything like that, and there's swabs of it. But I think it shows like this to why I what it leans towards my certain taste, because my thing is like when anime is very strict to genre to anime itself and everything, I get bored with it or I lose interest in it, because anime can be very, very particular, and it can take me out of stories because I don't think it's like a lost in translation thing. It's just the tropes and everything of the way the stuff's written, like in shonens or in shoujos and everything. And I'm just like, I'm out of it. I'm done. Mm-hmm. I'm very traditional when it comes to my storytelling, and so like I feel like I'll watch an anime that people really like, but it's also very based anime, and I'm like, I can't get into it because it's just it's so genre, it's so fan service, it's so this, like I don't have time for that. Whereas Promised Neverland, I can recommend to somebody. I can look at somebody who's never watched anime in their life, and I can say, hey, watch this. It's just a good story. Mm-hmm. Like, that's all I want. Like, I don't need to be catered to. Like, just give me a story that I can immerse myself into. Goblin Slayer is definitely, like, if you're comparing it, Goblin Slayer is definitely has its roots in anime, aggressively in anime. But I enjoy that show because it also has its fantasy elements, its D&D elements. It has stuff that carries me here and there. If it didn't have that, I probably would have thought less of Goblin Slayer, to be honest.
Yeah.
But Promised Neverland, due to this animation, due to the story, due to the characters, due to everything, is such a good series, and it had the benefit of it kind of reminded me a lot of like Stranger Things, where you can sit through all 8 episodes of Stranger Things, and then you sit through all 12 of episodes of Promised Neverland in a setting, and you felt like you've watched a consistent thing throughout it.
It knows how to like keep. It doesn't, because sometimes animes have that issue where there is like a really good story that goes for 6 or so episodes, and then they'll have like the beach episode in the middle, and you're like, why?
Yeah,
I just wanted a continuation of the story.
Yeah,
this one just is like, this is our story, and again, like packing 37 chapters into 12 episodes. That's going to mess up your flow a little bit, like if you're going to compare the two, but I think they did it really, really well. Especially because you have to remember, too, they also had to think, for us, we could sit and binge watch it, but when it was coming out, people had to wait an entire week to get another episode. And you can tell that they structured some of those cliffhangers and some of those plot twists on, can the audience survive a week and not pitchfork us, waiting for the next one. Like, can they survive a week? And I thought that was really, really clever. And I think I've seen a couple people in reviews talk about that same thing too.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what brought it up. And I went and like rewatched parts, and I was like, that does make more sense. Like, I can understand why they kind of left it that way, because you have to remember you got a whole ass week before your next one comes out.
Yeah. But it was like, I think a lot of like anime studios are realizing that like the Netflix like structure, like episode structure, like the streaming service episode structures and everything like that are way better ways of telling a singular story. Mm-hmm. Because animes can be bogged down, especially with like we were talking about some of my buddies like One Piece. is still going. It's never gonna stop. There's multiple arcs. There's multiple things. There are so many fucking episodes. Whereas I think they're realizing now that like, much like with, I keep referencing Goblin Slayer, but I swear to God, this is the last reference. Much like with Goblin Slayer, they knew they had to hook you in the first episode because people's attention spans are small as shit right now, and so like if you need to hook somebody into a show, you need that pilot to hook, and you need to hook strong. Goblin Slayer is definitely on the extreme end of it because they can either hook you in or it can just take you out completely.
Yeah, that first episode you'd be like, I don't want to see the second one. What if it's worse?
Yeah, what if it goes well beyond? Yeah. Whereas the first episode of Promised Neverland hooks you in because it is just it shocks you, it surprises you, and you want to know what happens to these characters because you're now invested with them in the span of 20 minutes. Yeah. You're invested in these characters. And so I think I am more accepting to these 12 episode structure, these shorter seasons for animes and them being more consumable. Mm-hmm. Which it's going to suck because then if I go to older animes and I want to watch all those, it's going to be less enticing when I know that like Promised Neverland season 2 comes out or animes that are currently running that are doing that structure. I'm like, well, I can just watch those real quick and then I'm done. Like, I don't have to. Yeah. I don't feel like I'm sinking. I don't feel like I'm making a massive investment into it. Mm-hmm. I'm just there for entertainment.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was weird because I mean, well, obviously when it was like animes just coming out on TV, they weren't getting put on the internet.
Oh,
like
God, no.
Your one season was like 25 episodes.
Yeah.
And they were super short technically, like the content is super short because they had to put all the commercials in.
Yeah.
And you still couldn't go past your 30-minute time slot. And it was like, so truly there's only like 21, 22 minutes of content. And you're just like, oh, all right.
Well, I mean, that was the fun of like Toonami though, was that like, the thing that worked with Toonami was that like you had multiple animes you could watch. So like, sure, like, maybe one episode of an anime you were watching was like on a filler episode or like an episode you didn't really particularly care about, but then the next anime is like going to be a huge major fight scene or whatever or stuff like that. Yeah. So that's how they can kind of get around, like at least with Toonami and like Adult Swim, how they got around that issue of there being like series bloat. And like and that's true in like most television as well. Like if you watch any like Star Trek or whatever, there's holodeck episodes are mono filler. Like it's just Data's on an adventure in the holodeck. If it says holodeck, it's a filler. But it's just something about anime, and it's what kind of got me out for a while. Where when you feel like it's wasting your time, it really feels like it's wasting your time.
Oh yeah, it's awful. It's awful to sit through.
Yeah, and I think like between like for my barren time and like my later teens for anime, which was, I think it was a mix of that and just not feeling like I was out of the loop. Because there are so many animes that are coming out in Japan, and the way people were getting them were through like other sites or through like CDs or whatever, and so like I felt like people were. Like when people, I remember when people were talking about Naruto, and they were like, it hadn't even hit stateside yet. I'm like, why are you dressed up as that? What's the headband for? And they try to explain to me what it is, and they do trash jobs of it.
Yeah. Until
I actually see it like pop up on Toonami, like, okay, this is what this is. You get like fan translations and all that, but that's why I think like I think we're gonna see more animes structured this way. Just because it's more consumable.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
we're moving 1,000 miles a minute. I mean, with everything. I mean, you have a device in your hand that can give you in time real shit that's going on. Like you can just keep refreshing, and something new is going to come up. Like it's always going on.
Yeah, it's always popping. By the way, Crunchyroll on the phone is way better than on the PC. 100%.
Oh, I don't even use it on the PC.
Yeah,
I have it on my Xbox.
Fair, that's true.
Which is not very good, but
Well, so like on my phone, I only get like 2 advertisements per like little ad break thing, whereas like on the PC, I get like 6 per ad break and all that.
yeah,
and I'm like,
it's not too bad on the Xbox if I remember.
Yeah,
But I could forget.
I mean, we could also just describe the Crunchyroll, but whatever. Give them money.
Well, I am. I'm premium.
Oh, are you premium?
Yeah.
So, all right, well, I've been using it enough. I might get premium. Whatever. I throw them some money.
I got premium because of Yashahime. I did not want to wait until the episodes were available for free users.
How many episodes is Yashahime on, by the way?
Almost 10?
Do we know how many episodes they're gonna have?
No.
Okay.
I have literally no idea because this was not something that was like pre-written anywhere.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess.
How many? Let's look.
We know that we'll probably be covering that one at some point, but
It's a fucking ride, and it makes me viscerally angry.
I still have to do the sit down and actually watch Inuyasha. But
Wait,
anyhow,
are they only in 6? Are they on 6?
She didn't hear that.
No. 13 episodes. Is that how many there's going to be in total? Because they're not on. They're not on episode 13 yet. There's no way. Is there? I'm a little bit. I think I'm like 2 episodes behind because work has been beating my ass.
That's fair.
Wait, this says 14. What the hell? What episode are we on? Well, now I have to know.
You're confused now.
But there is a thing that I want to talk about too with Promised Neverland that is obviously near and dear to my heart.
Yeah.
And that is the music and just the audio and just the way that they chose to do things in the show because it's great.
I'm trying to figure out if that's like a synth horn or whatever, or like a vocoded horn or something like that. But like when the weird sax hits, I'm like, ooh, ooh.
Oh, they are on episode 13. What the hell? Is it already 13? Oh my god. For some reason I thought I was on like 10 and 11, but apparently it's 12 and 13. Yeah. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, so audio-wise, maybe I felt like at certain points maybe the music got a little bit too much. And there are certain points where like especially with the sister, where her music's very wacky.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's very like woo. It's a little weird for the show, but the opening and I guess you'd say it's Leslie's theme or whatever, the mandolin song that he was playing. Those parts definitely those songs definitely like they hit very well.
Well, I'm not even talking so much as about just like the songs in general, and like the usage of audio is really, really good because there are suspenseful points where they take everything out and it is just the characters' voices, and it is like you are just suspended in whatever this is at the time, and you just hear them, and it puts you kind of like in their shoes, because sometimes with having audio tracks, obviously it's always good to have a soundtrack that fits your intense moments and your happy moments, yada yada yada, but there is something but we're so used to that. We're so used to there being soundtracks to things because everybody's doing it. It's those moments where there's just nothing that's what kind of like captures your attention. You're like, what the hell is going on? Because it's just dead. And it's like,
oh yeah.
Ugh. And I mean, unfortunately, as much as you can appreciate the music that is created, you do find yourself sometimes appreciating those times when there's absolutely nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're the ones that stick out the most now, especially nowadays. There's so much media out there that it's like, when you get a moment that doesn't have any music, it's like, oh, this is nice.
yeah, right, no kidding. Well, silence can carry such weight in a moment. The going straight to silence at the right time can put emphasis on any scene you need it to be put on, especially if it's done right.
And I really appreciate their sounds of fire that they used. They were very nice, very satisfying.
Very crackly.
Yeah, the crackling wood was very satisfying. I was like,
I
want to make one of those. I'm going to make my own fire sounds.
You just do some crackling fire ASMR, like, hey, how's it going?
Oh God!
I'm trying to make crackling fire in my mouth, but it's not happening.
I mean, those could be elements you can use. It's all about Because really, when you're, well, from me who loves making like video game and movie sound, you can make things out of the weirdest sources, and you just tell somebody, well, this is wood burning with fire, and your brain is just like, oh, okay. So you don't notice like the weird things that might be in there, and then somebody tells you, it's like, oh yeah, no, I was literally like smacking into a mic, and then I just kind of threw a verb on it, or I don't know. It's like dumb shit like that. Like I could tell you some of the sounds I've made. Like I made this really cool. I had to make like an alien spaceship sort of sound, but it had to be like it was the sound of like the spaceship beaming down and like beaming something up. And I remember I had this little metal desk lamp, like those really traditional metal ones. And if you flick it, it does that really cool like resonate. Oh, yeah. And so I recorded that, and then I took it and I put a I did. So I took it, I kept it in the same direction it was, and then I reversed it as well. Oh, I put a phaser on it too. So it's like you can do really random, crazy shit with
it's like
normal sources.
Right. Did you ever see this stuff like, I think it was like on one of the documentaries for Star Wars, but like Ben Burt, like the one that like the guy who like made all the like infamous, like the famous sounds for
a freaking pioneer.
Yeah,
I know that man.
Yeah. I love it. I love it when he was I think he was making the sounds for like the blasters and all that stuff. And he's like out in like in the desert or wherever, at like this like at like I forget what it was, like telephone poles or whatever. And there's the giant wires that connect them, and he's hitting them just right to where he can actually get that like pew sound and all that shit and everything. Yeah, that shit's nuts. Audio engineering, Foley artists are insane. Foley artists are the nuttiest dudes.
Honestly, if I had to choose my next job, it'd probably be Foley, because I love it.
That's cool.
Or just any sort of, I mean, I just want to be in like studios just making things, because it's so much more, I think it just like challenges a different part of my brain, and I really, really like it. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, like, we've all seen bone breaks, carrots and celery and things like that.
Oh, yeah,
like layer them.
Yeah.
What the sound of a T-Rex, because obviously we don't know what the sound of a T-Rex actually is. Like, oh yeah, what was it? It's like 13 different animals, I want to say, that are layered. Like that. It's something crazy. Like the original Jurassic Park one I'm talking about. Like, because they were the one that pioneered what a T-Rex sounded like. So yeah, but yeah, it's shit like that.
I forgot about
just layer
that.
A bunch of shit.
I just thought about that. Yeah, we never heard how how a T-Rex would sound, but they were just like, hey, we go for something like this, and they basically made how T-Rexes sound for the rest of the time. It's
funny because when I was a tour guide at my college, one of my instructors, so you would go into the classrooms and like actually speak with the instructors for a little bit. And the common question that one of my instructors would do would be like, so who in here knows what a T-Rex sounds like? And a bunch of people would raise their hand. He's like, no, you don't.
Yeah, you have no idea.
Yeah, he's like, you know what Hollywood thinks a T-Rex sounds like. And everybody would be like, oh, and it would like blow everybody's mind right there. Yeah. They're like, wait, everything's a lie.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's the fun.
Yeah, but where we're at right now? Let's talk about that.
We're almost at an hour.
Almost at an hour. Okay. Yeah. Try to think of any other like parting thoughts that I want to put on here. If you have anything.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, we actually haven't been that spoiler filled. I'm quite surprised.
I mean,
because there's definitely a lot of other things. I mean, there's so many plot twists in there that it's like, a lot.
Yeah, I think if we go into like detail about like all the plot twists and everything like that, that would take up a lot of time. But like at the same time,
I think it's
going into it, like you should like just enjoy the ride at that point.
Yeah, it's an experience that I think people should have.
Yeah, like we spoiled like the kids get out and everything like that. Like there's all that and everything, but
there's still more because the manga is completed, so there's still more.
Right.
So we didn't fully spoil anything.
Well, yeah, obviously we're not reading the manga, so like
yeah.
I'm going purely off the anime. I'm not going to go off the manga or anything.
Yeah, see, I'm kind of going a 50-50 here.
I'm going to wait.
I haven't gotten... I'm almost to like where the anime leaves off. I'm definitely not beyond it. Because once I found out it was the first 37 chapters, I was like, oh, never mind. I'm not close because I'm in the late 20s, somewhere in there.
I gotcha. But yeah, like, just in general, like, the amount of twists and turns that happen in this series. Side character. That was another thing I wanted to mention too. Is that like the kid characters themselves, the side characters, like they don't flesh out all of them extremely well, but you get just enough out of each one of them. Like when they have their moments to where you're like, oh,
yeah, enough that you love them.
The little girl that was crying over Norman leaving and everything,
Oh
like that,
my
losing
God.
her mind, like just oh God, like just moments like that, like it pulls.
I mean, the whole thing where when Norman like is just giving up or like giving in, and Emma like loses her mind, and it's
Ray loses his mind too.
Yeah, I mean, both of them just fully went in, and that was one of those moments that you remember that they're children, because the way that they were going about it was so just simple.
Yeah.
And like, you can't do this. Like, we've done so much. You can't give up now.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're just, oh my God. I was
when
like,
Ray cried, I was like, Ray's showing
Ray.
Emotion.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Baby Ray.
When what was the kid? Phil, the little kid that was like.
Oh yeah.
They're like, because they're trying to make a decision where the fucked up part is they have to make the decision whether or not to take like the younger kids, like the 4 and under kids, because they weren't sure they're gonna be able to take everyone, and so their plan, Emma's plan was to entrust one of the kids with getting the rest of the kids out, at least of that age group. And they entrust this little kid named Phil. And Phil had put together everything that was going on because of, again, he's 4 years old, but like because I guess of the training they were giving them, like he's uber attentive and put 2 and 2 together, that they figured out that they were being harvested because the sister character made a comment about harvesting and all that stuff, and Phil was like putting everything together, and then when he comes to the realization that Connie and Norman and all the other kids that he knew were harvested, he breaks down. Like he's uber like he's like, oh, I figured everything out, put the together, and he was like, and then Connie's gone and Norman, and just God.
I think too, I think also going in kind of like the animation style and like some of the CGI or whatever they use.
Go ahead.
But like one thing animation wise, I think that kind of helps too with the kids is the way that these children are just drawn. Like you see so many animes that kind of draw their kids like they look like they're a little too old.
Yeah.
And these are like, they got like these short, it's very like short here and very rounded, and the eyes are so big and so colorful and like full of life. Yeah.
They're very expressive.
And everything, like they'll hit these angles where it's kind of like downward looking up at them, and their eyes are just so huge and like horrified, and you're like,
yeah. Yeah. Or they do like the eyes with like when the pupils like shrink down and they're like in like shocked and scared. That really hits.
Yeah. But my God, the environments too in this
when Norman's going to grab Emma the glass of water.
Yes,
that animation.
I was going to say that too.
Yeah, I was like, it's a great scene because it just shows you that like how Norman is as a character. He has to be the level-headed one in the group and always have the strategy and everything. And when he's going to grab Emma a glass of water because he knows that he's going to get sent off, and he's having to accept it at this point that one, the cliff, he wasn't going to be able to get over the cliff, and then two, that this is just his fate. And you see him like struggling to get the glass of water, and he's just trying to hold it together, and then he finally holds it together. Once he gets to the door, he like breathes and like he puts on the smile, and he comes back, and I'm just like, oh
no. They really got like the humanity part very, very right. Like they knew how to kind of tug at her, and again, it's that constant reminder that like this is a kid.
It's like that TikTok. It's like the TikTok where it's like, it's a sound bit where it's like, everyone asks you if you're doing okay, and you have to say you're fine, but you're really not fine.
Yep. Yeah, it really is. It was just like, let's just pause and black and white this part, and it's sad. Oh God.
Yeah, Lord, it's so.
I forgot about that part.
Which part?
When Don and Gilda find the toys of their ship siblings. I forgot about that part. I was just seeing if there was like any more tidbits I wanted to talk about. And I'm like, oh god, because then that's when everything really becomes real for them.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like,
Well, they were like they didn't know Don and Gilda weren't told that Connie died. They were
Yeah.
told that she was sent off somewhere by bad people, and they're like, we're trying to get her out, trying to get her out. And then when they find Connie's toy and everything, they see all the other kids' toys. They just came to realization like, oh no, she's gone, like she's dead. And they were like, they get pissed off. They're like, why didn't you just tell us? So you think like, oh, Don has that moment where he's like, he's like, I get it, you guys think I'm weak and I'm not good enough and everything. I'm like, dude, fucking same, man. Dude, speak your truth.
I'm weak.
Fucking same,
Leave me
dude.
alone.
You know what? Sometimes you just don't feel good enough, and you're just like, feel like everyone's just letting you down. And you're just like, oh god. Gilda's just like, yo, Emma, what's up, girl?
God.
Oh Lord, it was a time. It was a time. Definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's an experience. I'm excited about season 2.
Yeah.
It should be coming out this month. It was supposed to come out in the fall of 2020.
Yeah, we'll
But
see.
because
We'll
of
see.
everything going on in the world, it got delayed. So hopefully it does.
Yeah, and we'll absolutely be covering it when it comes out. Does
100.
Crunchyroll they release episodes as they come out, right? Like they don't do like the full season out.
No, I mean as long as they have the partnership, but this one's done through Viz.
It's Viz.
Yeah.
Okay, so then probably
Right? I think so. Like I think technically, well, yeah, because hold on.
right. Well, no. So like, are you talking about when the series should be coming out this month? Has it already come out in Japan, or are we waiting on it for it to come out in Japan, then have it cross over?
That's a great question. This is shown on Adult Swim. They still show things on Adult Swim.
Oh yeah, no, they still have Toonami.
I don't have cable, so I don't know.
Well, I mean, I don't either, but like.
Yeah, Viz Media licensed the manga and serialized it to their digital weekly Shonen Jump magazine.
Promised Neverland was on Shonen Jump?
Well, yeah, because now they have a digital version.
Oh, okay, I got you. So then does all like Shoujo Beat stuff go on there as well? Like it's just all the Shonen Jump, like the whole thingamajig?
Huh?
Well, there's Shoujo.
I don't understand the question.
Well, so like there's Shoujo Beat, which is all the girly shit, and obviously, does that also get thrown on the Shonen Jump, or is there a separate Shoujo Beat that they have, like a digital Shoujo Beat?
I don't know if they kept up Shoujo Beat. I just know that Shonen Jump has a digital now that they do weekly, so it's still the same idea. It's just digital.
Okay.
I'm trying to see.
Because I feel like in terms of like
what the hell,
like series and everything like that, it's not very like crazy. It's not action packed. Like there's some excitement and there's some thrill to it, but there's not like a lot of like there's not fighting. Like
what you talking?
I talk about Promised Neverland.
Yeah, it is a shonen still. It's a shonen thriller.
Okay. I think I wouldn't have considered that, at least.
Well, it's the whole thing of shonen is it's just marketed towards male teens.
I think
That's like literally
it goes
what it is.
beyond that.
No, it literally like at its base is that.
Fair enough.
Because it's just supposed to be.
It transcends genre.
Yeah.
Transcends its label.
I'm trying to find out. Promise.
Trying to be a snarky asshole.
I mean, because we're also waiting on because they've been doing the English with it, so.
Oh, okay. They're doing
also,
a dub.
Yeah, they have one for season 1 already.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. I watched it. It's actually not that bad.
Okay.
I'm trying to see. Oh, look, this was posted a day ago. Season 2.
Is never coming out. We're sorry.
From action and thrillers to romance and horror. What?
What? Excuse me?
Because this is also talking about what platform it's going to be. The only question that fans of The Promised Neverland have left are what time does season 2 episode 1 release and which platforms? The trailer's out.
Oh, is it?
Scheduled to premiere on either Thursday, January 7th or Friday, January 8th. It's literally it's the 5th that we're recording. So literally it's supposed to come out. It was initially scheduled for October 2020. So I don't know if it's actually out. Oh, wait. The second season will air on Fuji TV in Japan and for fans of the anime around the world. It has been confirmed that the series will release on Funimation, Hulu, and Anime Lab. The official website also reported that advanced ordering of new episodes will be available through Amazon Prime Video.
Okay.
So it looks like it's just mass pushing at the same time.
Okay.
Oh, okay. No, this is January 7th in Japan. I don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah, it might be mass coming, or it might be... Shut up. Shut up. This boy over here. It may be being pushed out in mass, in full package size. I'm going to keep going with it. We don't know yet.
Yeah, we don't know.
It may be in Japan on the 7th. It may be everywhere on the 7th. We don't know quite yet because nobody's giving me a full answer.
Yeah, it comes out when it comes out.
Yeah.
And we'll do a review on it once the full series is out.
Yeah. Season 2.
So season 2 is fully out, and then we can give our 2 cents on it.
And we may or may not have a guest.
We might have guests soon. We might have some of the randos we know showing up to.
Oh my god, that's gonna be interesting. I gotta get a better third mic before we bring the first one on.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, the one I have is not that bad, but I would rather, just as a engineer, if I have any excuse to buy a new microphone, I will take it and run with it.
That's true.
I do not care.
Don't cares.
I don't care. Need more gear.
More gear, more cares.
Have a lot of empty holes in my travel case, so I need to fill them.
Fair.
It's true. They're little holes that you stick the mic in.
Yeah.
So.
Fair. All right.
But yeah.
Those are our thoughts, our feelings on The Promised Neverland. It's great. Watch it. If you haven't, do it now. If you decided to listen to the entire episode without watching it, sorry, you fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's going to bring you any benefit to listen to this before.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's literally us just kind of discussing
To listen to us
our
pack of assholes
views.
talk about it and everything, but...
And of course, you guys can continue the conversation if you feel so inclined.
Like, comment, subscribe. We're almost at 20 subscribers at this point when we're recording, so hit that sub button, hit that like, hit subscribe. And all that stuff. I'm on TikTok now, by the way. LukeKid19, follow me.
Oh.
I might also be advertising on there too, so there might be some randos.
Oh God, yeah. Once you start hitting that algorithm, it's like, ooh.
Algorithm be hitting different. I'm putting up like guitar videos, and then like maybe like I'll talk about maybe like a quicker review for stuff we don't cover on here.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. We appreciate you all. Appreciate you all sticking with us. We'll hopefully we're trying to figure out what anime we want to talk about and everything, but we're gonna try and plan out the rest of the year after we're done with this, so we actually have a full schedule of what we want to do, and then lock everything down and go from there.
Throw some extra tidbits in there, have some fun with it, kind of break up the monotony.
Yeah, we might have some surprise stuff here and there for you guys.
Yeah,
maybe some gaming, maybe some other stuff. You never know.
Maybe just some weird shit with some other people.
It's gonna be different. We're gonna be hyped, son.
The hype train.
Get your jammies on.
Oh my!
You're about to have a sleepover and watch scary movies.
We should totally do that. It's just one episode of like an hour of us just.
We could do
chilling.
Oh my goodness! Just the chill episode.
Come chill with us.
No, it's the beat. We could do.
Come chill.
We should have a beach episode.
I need you to chill. Good God.
We should totally. We're just in the apartment. And we're just dressed in beach clothing and we just talk about horse shit.
We could compile like a bunch of beach episodes and compare them to one another. We need High School of the Dead's beach episode.
Top 10 best each beach episodes.
That would be great. I'm totally down.
It's on the list.
I love the beach episodes. They're great. They're wild.
That's what we're doing.
Oh, even Fruits Basket had a freaking beach episode. Well, it was actually like a whole beach couple episodes because they were at a... Yeah, it doesn't apply. Never mind. Because they were at a vacation house, so that was why they were going down to the beach all the time. Never mind. It doesn't apply.
It doesn't meet the criteria of the beach episode.
Yeah, it needs to be like full abrupt, like there's a whole storyline and then beach episode, and you're like, where the hell did this come from? Why are we here?
100% down with that.
Sweet.
Cool.
All right. Well, that was some random ramblings.
Yeah, it was some random ramblings and everything like that. We'll catch you all later on the flip side. Have a good rest of your year.
Yeah. 2021. Let's try to not screw it up. Bad, at least.
Good news, we will anyway. Whee!
As I've been saying, it doesn't need to be as bad. It doesn't need to be a great year, but it just please don't be worse than 2020. Jesus.
Get me off the roller coaster. I've already vomited.
Oh, dear God. Okay.
I'm tired.
We'll see y'all later.
See you guys.